Now let's look at the story, and in this video I'll be giving you the context of the story. The Nightingale and the Rose is a tragically moving and a beautiful story. The thematic center is love and sacrifice. It centers around different kinds of love. It shows human love. It also shows non human love of a different kind, which borders on sacrifice. An interesting thing that is done in the story is that nature is humanized. You will find lizards, trees, butterflies speaking to each other. And of course, you have the nightingale and the moon. So they're all interacting with each other. So nature is personified. And in the process of this personification, inanimate elements, that is, non human elements, also acquire importance and they acquire the status of subjects or characters in the story. On the other hand, where animals are humanized and different aspects of nature, different elements in nature are personified, at the same time humans are depicted as insensitive and ignorant. And perhaps this is the paradox which the poets wants us to understand. And through this, actually, we get an idea of Oscar Wilde's deep understanding of human nature. Moving on. All right. So let's look at what the story is all about. Now, this story is about a student boy, a young student who lives in who is in a room, and his room faces a garden, and the garden has an oak tree. You can see in this picture there's a tree, and there's a nightingale which has built its nest in the oak tree. And this is the picture of the student who is one of the main characters of the story. Now, most of the story centers around this student's wishes and the nightingale's efforts. Now, this student is your average teenager who is studying but who is also in love with a girl. And like a typical lover, he is in a bad mood. Sometimes he is very happy. Sometimes he's extremely depressed. Sometimes he's languishing in love. And from what we can make out as the story starts, and from what the student is mumbling to himself, it seems that it's a one sided love. Even if it's not a one sided love, the student is actually chasing this girl who he loves, and he wants her to dance with him at the prince's ball. The prince of the town is organizing a ball, and everyone is invited, and the student wants this girl to dance with him, but the girl has placed a condition. She has said that I will dance with you only if you get me a red rose. And though procuring a red rose should not be that difficult, it is very difficult considering that it's winter, and trees have stopped blossoming. They have stopped giving flowers, right? So most of the trees don't even have leaves on them. So we have this student right at the start of the story where the student is expressing his love for the girl, and at the same time, he's also expressing his disappointment. And he's expressing his sorrow, the grief he is feeling, because he will not be able to procure that rose for her, and obviously she is not going to dance with him, and his is a case of failed love, and the nightingale is witness to all these feelings which the student is making explicit. So that's how the story begins, and the nightingale is very impressed with the student's love.